return. Just move my Spotify. Get some music. Okay. Now, hello. I only sort of turned off the stream about 10 minutes ago. But I'm back again. I just had to restart it. Didn't fix a thing. Streamlabs is still throwing a fit. Might be an internet thing, but it obviously isn't because the stream is fine. The stream is like actively fine. So fuck knows, you know? Like who knows what the fuck is going on? But today I would like to introduce people here, anyone who plays Magic or has played Magic, to a format I sort of invented and have been developing alongside Joe and Ethan, who I think are elsewhere at the moment. I know Joe's running a game and Ethan is... I'm not actually sure where Ethan is. He's probably doing something though. But I made this format with the intention of bringing custom Magic into sort of a more casual competitive environment. You know, the kind of sort of controlled custom cards where it's not a whole deck of cards no one's ever seen before. It's like a tight little snippet of cards. Now I have a command. Let me just check and make sure I know what it is. I need to move this over here. I've restarted my PC, so everything is not like sorted out in the way that it should be at the moment. But Brawlette, and the bot will print a link to the rules for Brawlette. You can go there, and it will take you it will take you to this page here, which will detail Brawlette in its entirety. It is it's less than a page because the text, you know, this whole side is taken up by an example of some Brawlette cards, and I'm also going to show you some examples themselves because I have 2 chambers. Basically, the idea of Brawlette, in a shell nut, if you will, is you have a pool of what are called chambers. This Brawlette's a roulette with a gun, so chambers in a gun. That's the terminology because it's funny. So you have a series of chambers, at least as many as there are players in your playgroup. Each of the players is randomly assigned a unique chamber, a chamber consisting of 1 commander and 5 associated cards, which they must build a deck around. They must use the commander, and they must include all 5 of the cards. And all of the chambers are themed in some way. Think of it like Jumpstart. Just instead of opening a pack and it just deciding your deck, you open a chamber and get a commander and 5 cards, and you have to build a deck around those cards using Pioneer and Historic legality. So I'm going to show you a couple examples that I've sort of copied over from the main file. The main file has like 50, I think there's like 50 chambers, not all of them finished, but I think at least 40 of which are fully completed and completely playable. They need some testing, but like they're all playable. I'm probably not going to release them because I think the spirit of Brawlette is people make their own cards, right? But I will show off these 2 chambers here as sort of an example of the kinds of stuff you can do with Brawlette, and just to give you some context to exactly how it works. So the first one is the one that's the example one that's in here, in this file, is the Menace Chamber, which is commanded by Grucel, Forgotten Apex of Fear. So it's costs 3 black-red for an asterisk for legendary creature Dinosaur Nightmare, with Menace, Death Touch, and when Grucel, Forgotten Apex of Fear enters the battlefield, put a Death Touch counter on each other creature you control with Menace. And Grucel's power is equal to the number of creatures you control with Menace. So he's a 5-mana 1/4 on his own, but you need to bring him down when you have a big board of Menace creatures. He's themed around Ikoria, because Ikoria Limited had Menace Tribal as its Rakdos limited theme. So utilizing that here is really cool. There's a lot of like really cool Menace cards from Ikoria, and I think Menace is, of all of the like keyword mechanic, like limited themes in Ikoria, Menace is the coolest one by a sizable margin. Because flying, we've seen 100 times before. Like Azorius Flyers is the most mundane pile of shit I think I've ever seen. It was like M21 had the exact same limited thing. Like, it's like they run out of ideas. It's like, what do we do for Azorius? Flyers. Because they do it every fucking time, and it really pisses me off, because there's nothing unique about it. Flying does not have design space. Safara, I think, is like the only interesting flying sort of thing that they've done. But Grucel cares about you having menace creatures, and he's your commander. The commanders are marked with these purple symbols. In the main file, it's like a cool like revolver chamber, but I didn't have time to port that over. But all of his cards... oh, that was a horrible voice cracking there, Christ. So he has cards like Howling Crystalback, which is costs 3 and black or red for a 4/3 creature nightmare with menace, and whenever Howling Crystalback attack, it should be a nightmare ape, because he's a gorilla. Whenever Howling Crystalback attacks, target creature defending player controls can't block this turn. Again, helps menace, because guess what? Menace creatures make it so that more things have to block. If your opponent has less things to choose from, you can just choose their biggest guy, and then he can't block. There is Frilled Rune Lizard, sort of living up to that Ikoria theme with Mutate. There's a cost 1 and a black for a 2/2 creature lizard with Mutate, 1 and a black. And Menace, whenever Frilled Rune Lizard deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. I have a feeling this Mutate cost should probably be 2 and a black, but it doesn't matter that much. You know, that's the whole point. You can toy around with these things, test them, come back later, and fiddle around with them a bit. But that's actually a couple notes I'm going to make, is Nightmare Ape, and I think this should probably be 2 and a black. Indartha Broodmother is a 4-mana 3/3 creature nightmare with menace, and whenever Indartha Broodmother attacks, create 2 1/1 black nightmare creature tokens with menace that are tapped and attacking. So she summons her babies to help fight. Seems neat. Alluring Predator is the most sort of crazy of all of them. It's cost 2 black red for a 6/5 creature, Dinosaur Nightmare, with menace, trample, and whenever Alluring Predator attacks, defending player creates a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. So it has menace and trample, which means it fuels your opponent's ability to block it with a creature, like a little 1/1 dude. But it does have very push stats. It's a 4-mana 6/5 with menace and trample with no notable drawback. So it gives your opponent a dude every time it attacks, but that dude is probably just going to be a blocker. And then there is Rushdown Tactics, which is attacking creatures you control. It's an enchantment for 2 and a red with attacking creatures you control get +2/+0. Oh, that's scares. That's a typo there. Again, I just need to write these down because I actually need to write these down because I need to make a note of them to change them on the main file. Howling Crystalback is an ape. Frilled Rune Lizard Mutate is 2B. Flavor typo. I'll fix that later on. Thank you, me, for noticing that. But this is kind of what you can expect, is all the chambers, they have a commander with a specific theme and a bunch of cards that build around them. All we're going to do on the stream is we're going to try and make one. I incidentally actually made one on stream once, but I didn't really allude to what it was for. I was just sort of like, ooh, internally I was like, ooh, this is a cool Brawlette chamber. And I think the thing we made, Motley, is a guy who cares about Volatile, which is an unused mechanic. He's a Brawlette chamber. He's one of the like 2 or 3 Brawlette chambers that there are. There is now 1 Brawlette chamber for every single color. Not all of them are done, but every single color combination, from colorless, all monocolors, all dual colors, all tricolors, all four colors, and Wooburg, all of them have at least one, though a couple of them are unfinished. Namely, I think it's like the ink treader colors, or hot, or bug but hot, bug plus red, whatever the fuck people want to call it. Every color except white. That one is not finished yet, but it still has a theme. But the other one is a little bit more. The other one, the example one I have here, is a little bit out there. Is Leppy Impatient Guide. This is the adventure theme. She is she costs 3 and a red for a 4/1 legendary creature fairy advisor, with the adventure quest prompt, for 1 and green or blue, an instant adventure with send target creature in your hand on an adventure. Exile it. You may cast the creature later from exile. And Leppy herself has haste and flying, and as long as Leppy is on an adventure or on the battlefield, cards on an adventure cost 2 less to cast. When Leppy deals combat damage to a player, return it to your hand. Leppy, I think, is one of my favorite designs, like, period, because she's really kind of powerful. We could probably push her stats. She could certainly be like a 3/3, I think, but I kind of like the idea that she's a 4/1, you know? Just like this needle, and she's going to come in and poke you in the neck and then just zip away. And the flavor that she's an impatient guide. She's like, go now, go on an adventure. She's meant to be Navi, is basically her thing. And she's Teamer colors because Escape to the Wilds and I don't remember the other. And Brazened Borrower and Stomp Flare and Beanstalk Giant. All of those cards are like adventure staples. And most of the black and white adventures are not very good. There's Murderous Rider, actually. That's a very good card. But so all of the cards here. So she has Tactical Retreat, which is costs 1 and a blue with return up to 2 target creatures you control or own on an adventure to your hand. So yeah, that's a very powerful bounce spell that can also be used to bring your adventure guys back. Like if you need Leppy back in your hand so you can send one of your cards on an adventure, it's actually really useful. There's Witch of Barleycorn Children, which is 2 and a green for a 1/3 creature elf druid with creatures your opponent controls cannot block creatures with greater power. And so your opponent can't chump block, like they just can't. And an adventure called Shrink Down for an instant for 1 blue with create an aura enchantment. An aura enchantment, that shouldn't say card, that should say token. I'll just mark that down. Token with enchanted creature gets -4, -0. Attach it to target creature. It's called Shrink Down because this is meant to be Thumbelina. There's the witch that makes Thumbelina, and she makes but this lady, she just makes things tiny, and that's her theme. So she makes your opponent's stuff tiny, and she also makes it so that they can't block your big boys when you actually play her. And if you have Leppy, she herself is a 1-mana 1/3 with this ability, which is pretty good. So you spend 2 mana and get all of this text on a 1/3 body, which is pretty good. Edgewall Inn is a legendary land with tap, add colorless, and 1 tap, add 1 mana of any color for each creature card you own on an adventure. A hub for adventure, I think is pretty better flavor text there. I'm just writing down all these notes of things I want to change. There's the Spirit of Adventure, is 2 green for a 4/4 creature Spirit Knight with Vigilance, and the first time you send a creature on an adventure each turn, Return target creature card that has an adventure from your graveyard to your hand. So it's the quest never ends. And then there is Veteran Knight. There's a creature, human knight, asterisk 3, is cost red and a green. And Veteran Knight's power is equal to twice the number of creatures you own on an adventure. With an adventure called Scout for Squires. It costs 2 and a red for a sorcery adventure with look at the top 2 cards of your library. Send each creature card looked at this way on an adventure and exile the rest. Until the end of your next turn, you may play cards exiled this way. So, it's a really powerful. It's an impulse draw. It is this is light up the stage without the cost reduction. Is what this is, and if you hit a bunch of creatures, which if you're playing adventures, you're going to hit a bunch of creatures because your deck is mostly creatures. You can send them on an adventure, and obviously you can whiff with this, which kind of sucks. And she also, her cost is not reduced by Leppy, so that is like a thing there. Realistically, actually, we could, to improve her power a little bit, we could do that, which would actually be really cool, and also makes the card look amazing. Because you get this green half, and then you get like the red half, which fuses. Yeah, I'm actually just going to do that. That's super cool. That's another fun thing, is that you can just errata cards, or not even errata them, just change them outright. But yeah, what we're going to do, now that I've sort of taken you through all the cards that I have as examples, I've also like credited the artists here as well. So yeah, you got like you can Google all of these artists if you like this art. Anne Stokes, I learned quite recently, actually has like a whole bunch of Brawlette cards that we've used her art for, which is quite amusing. But yeah, go take a look at all of these artists. They're all very good. This is a slightly edited version of a pre-existing Magic card, because Jeju Chen has done a whole bunch of like really good Magic cards. But yeah, either way, we're going to make some new chambers. And I have some notes about things I want to do. The main idea I had, and I've been sitting on for a while, because I wanted to do this stream a few weeks ago, but I didn't have time. I had an idea for doing flyers, but not Azorius flyers, because I don't hate myself. I wanted to do Jeskai flyers, because Jeskai does get flyers. It gets phoenixes and dragons, but it generally doesn't get low mana flying dudes. It gets big flying dudes. Also gets a lot of conditional flying too, whereas blue and white get a whole bunch of flying. And I have an idea of what I want to do. I'm not sure exactly what, but so we're gonna make the commanders first, because they're like the main theme. Is there is a Boros guy who gives non-flyers flying, and then there is an Azorius dude who makes your flyers better. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, but that's what I want to do. So it's a partners with Azorius guy. Give him. When this creature attacks each other. So it lets you play like a flyers deck without having to literally only play flyers, because flyers tend to be quite expensive, given that, they have evasion built, so you can build a bunch of little guys. You can build a bunch of ground guys who are also really, really strong, who will then gain flying when they need it. So is a legendary creature core warrior, probably. Like cores seem to have that kind of like temporary flight, which is always good fun. It's just a thought. It could be a core rogue, So that probably make more sense. Rogues generally aren't in white though. No, just stay keep with warrior for now. This is looking like Akiri, you know? This seems to be Akiri. We could just make a new Akiri card, which could be really cool. So give him haste. And make them like 4 mana, I think is reasonable for a 4/3. Akiri, because I think Akiri, the original Akiri has partner. She does. New Akiri is, well, she's a line slinger, but she cares about equipping, which is dumb. Akiri makes way more. Akiri, she should be vigilant as well. Akiri. I mean, she's Akiri, hero, or not hero, foe Zendikar. Hero of Zendikar. Like, she is specifically mentioned in the story as being regarded as a hero. So yeah. And I'll also give her her ally thing back as well, because I think that legendary creature, core warrior ally. I'm just gonna see if I can find some Akiri. Not Akira. Not seeing any. It's just the old art of Akiri Lineslinger and Akiri Fearless Voyager, which is very irritating. Anyway, try and find some, but either way, I'll have a proper look some other time, because I'm not going to bother looking for art right now. I actually really like this card. This is really kind of cool. And then we have whoever this dude is going to be white and blue. And they're gonna already be flying. Make them, and then partners with Akiri, hero of Zendikar. Type legend block. Hang on, I'm gonna look at Zendikar legends. See if there's anyone we can use. Block Zendikar, block BFZ. Or set ZNR. Let's see what legends we can look at. Type legend. Type creature. Color. No, not blue black. Blue white. Oh, yeah. There's Linvala. What do the Linvala cards all do? Because no, Linvala wouldn't give a shit about the angels. Linvala cares about the people. Yeah, Linvala only gives a shit about the people. And we can always just come up with a new character, that's fine. That's often just as fun. Legendary creature. Can make them a core, though I probably won't. Probably make them a human. Like a human cleric. Maybe that'd be kind of cool. Is just give them a so an ability that buffs flyers in some capacity. There's a lot of things we can do with that. Could make the we can make them a wind racer. Could be I actually kind of like this. This is really cool. Come with a cool name like Zeo. I like Zeo. That's a cool name. Whenever Zeo attacks, Zeo Gale Chaser attacks. Zeo Gale Chaser or Zeo the Gale Chaser? I like the Gale Chaser. That's cool. And then we make him like 3 mana or something. Like a 3 mana 2/2. 3 mana 2/3. Each creature you control with can't be blocked this turn. Let's search for a similar effect. Seafloor Stalker. No. Maybe there should be like a top end. Have like an Uro style, or like a Titan, like a Theros Titan kind of thing, and make this like a top end card. Make it like a 6 mana, like 6/6 with flying that can't be blocked. It's just like boom, comes down all your flyers. Oh, hang, that's something to look at, because I know white doesn't really get haste, but does blue. There are 2 cards, 2 white and blue cards with haste. There is Achroma and there is Bonded Fetch, which has Defender. So it only has haste, so it can fuel its ability. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not going to get haste. The Gale Maker. Whenever Zeo the Gale Maker. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. Oh, I beansed it. I'll press style. We're going to be sat here for a while. But yeah, I'm probably going to be doing this until about 6 o'clock-ish. So probably about half an hour. I'm just gonna toy around with some ideas. I'm gonna do this some more in the future, but I'm just looking to like toy around with ideas. Yeah, I have a very busy week ahead of me, so I would like to stream during the week because I'm not gonna have any time on Friday or Saturday, and I don't want to like only be streaming Monday and Sunday next week. But there's not really much I can do. Partners with Zeo the Gale Maker. I like these two. I like them. I'm not sure if they're particularly strong. Like, I think Akiri's like actively very good. Zeo is very strong, I think, but yeah, this is cool. This is cool. Now we need like some. Oh, greetings. We made a couple cards. Oh, I just made these two here, Akiri and Zeo. I'll see if I can find some art for Zeo. Actually, yeah, no, I'll just be sad for bloody ages. There's no point in that. Oh no. So creature, I kind of want to have like So Pyre Drake. Creature Elemental Drake. I believe Drake is a creature type. Type Drake. Scryfall. Drake is a creature type. They are mostly in blue, interestingly enough. Yeah, almost exclusively in blue. So, sputtering. I'm going to call it Sputtering Ember Dragon. So it's like 1 red for no, I'm not. So kicker 4. If it was kicked, Sputtering Ember Dragon enters the battlefield with a flying counter on it. Two mana 3/2. That seems pushed. CMC 2. There are. Never mind. No, there are plenty of cards that are 2 mana 3/2s, though they are usually. Oh no, there's Kroll Harpooner, which is just straight up a 2 mana 3/2 for only a green. Echo as well. Yeah, no, that's a very reasonable stat line. Let me just check the wording on Ugh. Sorry about that. Oh. Very tired. I'm not sure how I feel about this, because it feels like it's just a 2-mana 3/2, but then again it does become... Actually, no, hang on. Here we go. So there we go. If you kick it, it's like it ignites and takes flight. So I'm thinking like this thing has like wings made of fire, and you need to kick it to you need to pay the kicker cost, and or realistically use a cast a Kiri on a future turn, play this thing turn 2, play a Kiri turn 4, and then you're swinging in with a 7/5. Maybe that's a bit much, but there we go. With a 6/5 on turn 4, which is pretty decent. I think that's good fun. I like that. Sputtering Ember Dragon. I'll have to get some people to look at it, because I'm not sure how to feel about it, but I do like it. It is cool. Wait, no, actually, hang on. We could have it literally just straight up turn into a Shivan Dragon. Hang on. It could just straight up be like, if it's flying, it is a Shivan Dragon, which is kind of awesome. Like, you either pay the cost and it's a Shivan Dragon. Yeah, that seems way fairer, actually. You either pay 2 mana and have a card that turns this thing into a Shivan Dragon, or you pay 5 mana and get a Shivan Dragon. Hell, even better, we could just do this and make it so that it is like... It's just straight up Shivan Dragon, which I actually really like. Oh, Shivan Dragon is 6 mana. Huh, I didn't realize that. I thought Shivan Dragon was only 5. But that makes sense, I actually really like this. I went from being very mixed on it, and now I'm like, no, this is great. I really, really like this. That's like a red card. And if you have Zeo, this thing can't even be blocked. So, you know, you set this thing up on turn 2, turn 4 you play a Kiri and start swinging in. Yeah, this is good stuff. I like this. This is cool. Let's try. Let's keep going, because we're making cool headway. I'm very much enjoying this. I'm also going to write this down on my little tracker, because I have like a big list of all of the all of the commanders. Having a good time. I'm still not 100% on Zeo, but I do like him. So we have 2 Jeskai ones now. The other one, I believe, is... Oh, it's Adros. He's a guy who cares about treasure. And you can use treasure to make weenies. It's pretty good. Okay, right. Let's make a non-flyer again, because I think we want to fill the chamber with like non-flyers that are like quite good. creatures that benefit from having flying in some capacity, creatures that benefit from having evasion. So maybe creatures that have effects that do combat damage, I think is probably the best way to do that. And blue gets a lot of that, so I think we can make a blue creature that cares about... Merfolk Recon Squad. Or just Recon Squad, I think, is probably kind of cool. Okay, right. My phone has buzzed for some reason. I'm not entirely certain as to why. No reason. So Recon Squad would be like just a creature. So what is that if so? Now what is? I just need to look at C dash. There's a good number of those. It was Ascendant Spirit from Kaldheim. Nice. So there's like a 2-mana flash, maybe? Two mana 1/3. And it's just C-dash or Octopus. Nah. I mean, having a dude who flashes into block stuff is actually really useful, because then he would gain flying. But then he wouldn't benefit from any of Zio's abilities, so no. If he was just like a big blocking dude with like 0 power, then it would just kind of suck. I need some kind of like combat damage ability. Ooh, actually, hang on, actually. Battlefield Medic. This is a cooler idea. Is we make like a 3-mana white card. Probably more 4 mana actually. Whenever. No, that's not the one. Give me a minute. I'm just gonna need to find this card set. Hey, I'll open up Scryfall so you can actually see what I'm doing. For anyone who's just dropped in, if you want some details on what is going on, hang on, I'm designing cards for a format called Brawlette, which you can read about here. RNA, color white type sorcery, he says. Is it a sorcery? I think it is. No, oh, hang on, it might actually be or set war. No, it's an instant, isn't it? Of course. At least I think. says, trying to find it. Where is it? I know it's from this block. There's like two dudes like holding like back to back, and they just it brings back creatures that died this turn. I can't find it. It's here somewhere. I know the card. I'll know it the moment I see it. But I cannot find it for the life of me. I don't remember the exact text of it either. That's the problem. I'm looking for like a text reference. It is CMC 2. Hang on. Let's do this instead. C2 cost white. I know it costs. Oh, ignore mana cost white. What is mana? Brought back. It's from M20. But put that from the because yeah, it's permanence. Yeah. So what is the text? I will whenever Battlefield Medic deals combat damage to a player, you may return target creature card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn to your hand. Choose up to one creature. Put that card into your hand. There we go. It's like a 3/4, like a 2/4 probably. Human soldier ally, probably. Just human soldier, probably, more than anything else. Or just human cleric, actually, that makes a lot more sense. That's cool. I like that. So you finish combat, and if one of your dudes died this turn, like if like this thing is like a mid-game powerhouse, right? Because you play Akiri on like turn 5 or whatever, and you have this thing out. They can still block your dudes or kill your dudes. If they kill Akiri or something like that, or they kill anything, but Battlefield Medic still goes through, you can just bring that card back to your hand. And if not, once you get Zeo, if they use any removal on your creatures on your turn, obviously they can do it on their turn, but like that's less mana efficient. So it's not quite as good in the late game, but in sort of like the mid game, it's really quite strong, I think. I suppose since it's repeatable, it's just quite good anyway. So giving this thing evasion, which is what flying is, and Zeo improves that evasion tenfold, makes this card pretty good, I'd say. I'd say very good, more than anything else. So we have 2 cards, and we need 5. So if you have like partner commanders, that doesn't detract from the number of other cards you can make, because that just seems unfun. Like you make a commander or 2 commanders, or if you like realistically, there's gonna be a Brawlette chamber at some point that is 3 cards that partner with each other, because that would be really funny. But yeah, that we've got a handful of cards thus far. We've got Sputtering Ember Dragon and Battlefield Medic. I'm liking where we're going. We need some blue cards. We need some multicolored cards. So we need something. We'll start with something blue. We don't necessarily need all of those things, but like, you know, it's in 3 colors. We should represent all 3 of those colors. I feel like we should do something that's already flying, right? Because we don't really need any instants or sorceries, because Rally of Wings exists, right? We could get a blue card that 2-does up flyers, but with Akiri, you don't necessarily want your whole deck to be flyers. You want some flyers in your deck, but also some good, just some generically good creatures that would benefit from being able to fly. Could be like a hexproof dude, or like a So we'll make a flyer. Maybe we can make like a little, like a weenie flyer or something that makes, like whenever, oh, hang on, whenever, because this is like Jeskai aggro, right? This is, you're gonna be playing a control deck with this. You're gonna be playing like, you know, with Jeskai aggro, get that, you know, blue does aggro sometimes, and when it does it very well. Because lo and behold, blue's the best color. You know, who would have thought? But whenever a creature deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, maybe. Like a 2 mana card, like a 3 mana card, maybe. It's like a 2/2. Not sure what this like type of creature is going to be, but be like a roosting. We got like a loosely Zendikar themed thing. Does Zendikar have dragons? I actually need to check that. Zendikar does have dragons. Oh, of course, Leyline Tyrant is a thing, a card that was printed in Zendikar Rising. It's the only dragon from that set, though. And there's actively, like, there's 2 dragons. Oh, no, there's 1 dragon in Zendikar. There's a dragon in Battle for Zendikar. A dragon in Worldwake. A dragon in Oath of the Gatewatch. And a dragon in Zendikar Rising. So yeah, there's 1 dragon per Zendikar set, with the exception, all of which are red, with the exception of the other Zendikar set, Rise of the Eldrazi. But that whole set was all Eldrazi, so I guess it kind of makes sense. Kind of would have liked to have seen like an Eldrazi-fied. Well, no, Eldrazi-fied things wrong in Estrada. That's what Emrakul does. She turns things into Eldrazi as opposed to just fucks up the land and eats things. Do they have griffins? They do. Those weird manta ray creatures I think would work quite well. Roosting manta. Creature, fish. Basing this off of Cloud Manta, which is a French vanilla from Battle for Zendikar. That's cool. I very much like Roosting Manta. Oh. Force a habit. Okay, so we got 3, one of each colour. We got a white card, a blue card, and a red card, and we need 2 more, so we basically just want, like... We functionally want, like, 2 multicoloured cards, and we've got all creatures so far, so we probably want some enchantments, some instant sorceries, that sort of thing. Maybe an artifact, like, I'm not sure what kind of artifact that would be, but, I think an enchantment could be kind of cool. Let's search for enchantments to care about flying. Type. And... oh, shit. Type. Enchantment. I should probably open things up, like, here, so that you can actually fucking see what I'm doing. Type enchantment, keyword, flying. Wait, no, it's giving me the enchantment creatures. No. I want to say flying in the text. Arcane Flight. That's a funny card. It's a good limited card to my knowledge. But Archetype of Imagination. Creatures you control have flying. Creatures your opponent controls lose flying and can't have or gain flying. Sadly, it is not, because it's a commander thing. It's not actually legal in. It's not legal in Brawlette, because Brawlette is only Pioneer and Historic, which will limit the card pool a fair bit, to be fair. But it stops, like, it makes it so that there's no, like, Sol Ring arms race, like all the bullshit commander arms race ramp stuff, and a lot of cards are just far too strong to be in any kind of, like, non-commander constructed format outside of, like, Legacy and Vintage. Funnily enough, because that's what commander is. See, I'm not seeing any enchantments that care about flyers. This is a cool card. Figa's Retribution. That's pretty cool. Sadly, it's not Pioneer legal, though. And I think something like this, because if he didn't have Akiri, it would nerf a lot of your creatures, and that would suck. That would just actively not be fun to play against. So yeah. Oh shit, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. There's no cards that reference when a creature gains a keyword. Gift of Angels. This is going to be mono white. Gift of the Sky. Be a white, blue, 2 mana enchantment. No, this is boring. This is boring. Enchantment. Cloud cover mist. Creatures you control with flying have hexproof. That's not very interesting, I think is the main problem. It doesn't need to be groundbreaking, but... Oh, whoops. Steel Plume Marshal. Is Steel Plume Marshal legal? Oh, yeah. Steel Plume Marshal is historic legal. That's gonna be a great card in this, I think. What does this guy do? Oh, okay, it's like sort of pseudo fire breathing. Whenever 3 or more players you control with fly creatures, each player gains control of non-player of your choice, controlled by the player to their right. That's insane, and I kind of love it. That's kind of great. I actually really like that. That's really kind of funny. I kind of like this, like, eagle's nest. When Eagle's Nest enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a hatch counter on Eagle's Nest. I guess just put a +1/+1 counter on Eagle's Nest. then create X. Condor's nest. Named Fledgling. So this is definitely like a 4-mana enchantment. This is definitely like a 4-mana enchantment now. This comes down, makes you a thing. Next turn it makes you 1 thing. Then turn after that makes you 2 things. This is very strong. This is something to keep an eye on. This is preliminary, but I do like it. It's kind of cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm probably actually going to finish this, and I might stop because it's about 6 o'clock, and Streamlabs is still telling me to go die. So, but we've done some cool stuff today. Made like almost a whole chamber. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna try to anyway. And I'll be streaming some Commander with Finn the Bin later on this evening. I'll be starting to my knowledge, about 10 p.m. There we go. Sapphire is obviously going to be in this deck. Well, maybe she isn't, because you're not going to have as many... Sputtering Ember Dragon is definitely the best piece of design that's come out of this, because he's really cool. Turns into a big old Shivan Dragon, I love that. If they enter tapped, I think that's probably fairer. So they can't attack on right. Only one more thing that cares about flyers in a way that isn't necessarily just a thing that flies. Could have an artifact that... Yeah, we don't need things that give things flying. We need things that, like, would be useful for them to have flying. Could be like a red-white kind of, or like a red-blue dude who, he's trying to be like an instant or a sorcery. Ride the lightning. It's a real quote. I didn't make this up. That is real. Well, it's from Arena, but whatever. Ride the lightning, untap target creature you control until end of turn it gets +2/+2 and gains flying. Does that work? Is that interesting? Is that good? That's the real question here. I don't think it is. And that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's cool. I also like the idea that Ride the Lightning deals 1 damage to you. That's actually kind of funny if it does 1 damage to you. Till end of turn, untap target creature you control. Until end of turn, it gets +2/+2, gains flying, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. You must be this tall to ride the lightning. Yeah. This is a really cool card. I'm not sure if it's particularly balanced, but I love it. Yeah, I think let me mark that down. That's actually just like done. I think certainly in a good spot. I think. But yeah, I'd say that's probably that for me for now, because I'm very tired and it is 6 o'clock, so I would normally be stopping about this time anyway. In about 4 hours, I'll be streaming Magic with Finn the Bin, so do feel free to come by then. Do stop on by. I'm gonna sign off here. There's looks to be nobody to raid, so I'm gonna head off now. I'll be streaming some D&D stuff tomorrow. Probably working more on that dungeon, I think. But I'll if I change my mind, I'll do something else. So but that's probably what I'm gonna do. Either way, thanks very much for sticking around today. I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. See you.